So, spiritual warfare is very real, and we can all feel it around us. The key to winning at this war is staying connected to nature and keeping our minds open to visualizations that we receive from the Most High. What's really important is just listening to that quiet voice inside of you telling you the right way. To really visualize, you must see with your heart. And getting your heart in tune with your mind allows the visualizations to manifest themselves in reality, or at least on your visual cortex if you're a literalist. But getting your heart and your mind in sync is key to having manifestation really happen in your life. And you should start off easy with like simple visualizations of nature, of yourself in nature, and allowing your body to just breathe and just be while your mind does the exercising. And don't try to speak any words while you're doing it. Don't think any words while you're doing it. Just only allow the pictures, and allow your mind to fall in the flow, and just instead of your thinking mind controlling your visual mind, allow your visual mind to lead your thinking mind. There are several ways this enemy can attack us, on the material physical plane, and ways that may physically impede us from achieving a connection to our higher self. But there's really no blockage from you spiritually ascending, because all is mind. And so once you allow your spirit inside you to fill you with the fire, this flame of the spirit, then you will have enough light and warmth to take you through the dark, cold fog that they put over everything. And so embody that feeling and that idea. See, look, now there's a wasp. But another way that they bring problems with your ascension is through distractions and with the weapons that they've mechanized and the way they abuse nature to achieve their goals. But as long as we don't allow certain things in our bodies, we are able to keep our souls pure and our connection to spirit open. And so that is very important during this process of awakening. And there are people out there as well who are working or mind controlled, at least, by the enemy. So keep that in mind as you move forward in your awakening process. There are those who are part of the patriots who don't realize it. And there are those who are actively working to ensure that the matrix stays intact. So keep that in mind as you move forward in your awakening, and don't be afraid of anything, because they can't get you in your own mind. They can't get you in your own heart. And that's that. One major opening up I've had recently is a channeled message I received from the Most High, or from our ancestor spirits in the clouds and around us in nature. And they're very loud when you actually listen to them. And the message is that we haven't freed ourselves yet completely. Some of us think we're free, but we're really not free. There's a video I just watched about what freedom actually is. And it's about having the freedom to make a variety of choices, in multiple different ways. But we aren't really given that in this society, obviously. It's either work or die. It's nothing in between there. So this is something that we have to keep in mind as we're unlocking and moving forward with to the new earth, into the fifth dimension. And a major key is letting go of the material things that this world has programmed you to think is important, or anything that this world has programmed you to think is actually important. But remember that, like, your connection to spirit is most important, and you get in touch with spirit by connecting with this planet that we're on. And connecting with the planet, you connect with the stars. And our minds are still enslaved by this consumerist, capitalist, Western society that's keeping us from believing in our true dreams in our heart, and keeps us from unlocking that process in our heart. Because when you start really, when you go into meditation and when you start practicing, you'll see how active your mind is. And that's because your brain is programmed for distraction. But what it really needs is to be in balance and be in sync with your heart and with spirit, because these are the things. Your heart is what connects you to this earth. Everything living has a heart and a soul. They go together. That is a phrase that you say together: heart and soul. And we have to remember that connection always. And it's hard to say because it's a visual thing. It's a feeling. It's empathy and compassion and mercy, to a certain point. And we really have to reconnect with that. And that will allow us to free ourselves mentally. See, I couldn't get it out because we're still all under this Babylon matrix, and we have to break free from it. And the way to do that is to visualize ourselves free. Like, we all have to visualize ourselves free without hate as well. And that's going to be a hard thing for many people to do, especially with the history that is around us. But in our stories, love heals and the truth heals. So the truth that we need to hear to heal us is that we need to, it's the same advice that we get everywhere. It's block out the negative energy, block out the negative people, all of them, block out the negative system, and tune your mind to the collective dream of the collective freedom that is just right there waiting for us to take. We just have to take the chains off our own necks. Like the devil card in the tarot, and the Lover's card really show this, because the chains around the necks of the people in the devil card are easy for them to take off, but they've fallen for the illusion that they can't take them off, or that they don't need to take them off, or that they like the chains actually. But when you realize, when you take that chain off, everything's light, everything's free, and you're free to make choices in whatever direction that you aim at. It doesn't even have to be, it doesn't have to aim at your urges and your lower primal urges, but your higher passions and ideas that can now come in from above, now that you've taken away the bondage on your mind. And that is a super big key to awakening to this new earth plane, this 5D reality that we're entering. And here's something that just came through. It's like what we think the rapture is something negative, but it's really a good thing. It's a cleansing of spirits. It's a cleansing of souls and a cleansing of hearts. And the first thing that's going to happen is, we're all going to be shooken up, because something gets snatched out of our lives. But it's to shake us up to resettle, So it's going to be a lot of things happening going forward. But we have to endure it, because it's what nature does. Nature survives and moves forward and grows new shoots again. And humanity has done that forever. So, at least as long as humanity has been around. And what we really have to do is just start taking care of this earth and our minds in the same way, in the exact same way. That is a major important goal that we should have, is taking care of the earth and our bodies the same way, and each other the same way, because everything is connected, and it becomes a great circle, a great cycle and circle of renewal or rebirth for everyone. So it's just really important that we just break the mental slavery, and it's so much deeper than you think. Don't think materially. Like, when you think about the things that you're bonded to, the things that trap your mind, the fears that trap your mind, or even the anger that gets riled up every once in a while to continue the entrapment of the fear, because the anger is really coming from a place of, why couldn't I have done anything, why couldn't I have, if I was there, kind of thing. But we have to let go of all of that, actually. Let go of the anger, let go of the fear, let go of the sadness of what happened. Because if, it's toxic to us, and we have to let it flow out, let the swamp drain out of our hearts, and allow the flow, or out of our hearts, out of our digestion, out of our thoughts, and let it flow out. And we will be free again to choose, from a place of joy and community and this overall openness of, of each other. And really needs, and another thing that needs to happen, I keep saying, and another thing is like connecting with our own internal DNA, because everything that we know is already within us, because our ancestors have already lived it for us. And so right now is key to really unlock that energy from the ancestors, and unlock that energy, unlock the channel for spirit to come through and guide our minds, essentially. Because I had this thought too, is like, when our minds are controlled and programmed by the media that we see and by other people, and but in reality is that we should be allowing our minds to be controlled by our divine spirit, our higher self. And when you allow your higher self to start directing things, it it's just better. It's higher. It puts you in a higher functioning state, in a higher vibrational state. And the more that we imagine, the more that we dream, and the more that we collectively connect on the astral realm, the better our world gets around us. And there's nothing that we even have to do except just dream honestly and from the heart and through the heart. Like, no thinking about things you should do or things that need to be done. It's just things that we have in our heart that just need to be visualized. And there's a reason why we talk to people about dreams. Some people have similar dreams because it's already in existence above us, and we just have to bring it down to earth, into our minds, to free our minds and get our programming straight. Yeah, that's what Spirit had to say to everybody. And I'm reminded, what made me think about this stuff is there's this video, this crazy white lady screaming, right? And harassing the black women. And this is and the black one was very calm and whatever like that. But it was very obvious how this woman was looking for attention and screaming and all that kind of stuff. And it's the same thing we're going to be facing as we move forward, just in communities. Like, and we've already been seeing it anyway, but what we're going to be seeing is a lot of outbreaks, a lot of tantrums, a lot of crazy things happening. People are going to be going buck wild out here, obviously. You haven't noticed already. So what really has to happen now is we just let those people have their tantrum and let it go out of them. They're going to burn themselves out, and if you want to, whatever. But we have to ignore those people. We have to literally stop giving it attention, because it just gives it power. Because our awareness is our awareness and attention is power. Because wherever you focus your mind, becoming visual, and it's becoming real because it's being, visualized and seen. So a whole lot of people are going to be out here wanting to be seen so bad, but we just have to ignore them, you know? Like, that's why I don't care about my views or my channel or whatever, because it's more about getting the wisdom to other people's ears who need to hear it so it unlocks in them. And, like, that's what's most important to me. Like, I know I could never monetize this shit anyway, come on. But, like, but money's not important to me in that way. What's more important is people awakening their minds, because the true wealth is in the spirit. And I see it with my own eyes, and so that's what like, all three of my eyes, really, come on. And so that is the move, and that's the vibe, and I hope you guys understand and get this message, and it brings you to a higher place with the rest of us.